Alright, let's dive into the chaos that is Double Dragon 2, but this time, it's double the trouble. Raster is about to juggle 2 street brawls at once, and let's just say, this won't end with him casually walking down the street with a victory. Well, looks like Raster's starting off like a Double Dragon pro. One uppercut to the first bad guy and bam, another uppercut to the second? That's just cold-blooded, like a villain in a bad action movie. Someone get this guy a cape, because he's slaying the competition like he's on a rampage. But hold on tight, it's too early for a victory lap. Things could go south faster than a bad haircut. Raster's already struggling with an easy bad guy. At this point, the enemy's not even trying. He's just waiting for Raster to hand over the controller and call it a day. And just like that, Raster's already off beat. He's getting rocked and out of sync. This is about to get messy. Only with 2 Double Dragon 2 games at the same time can something this easy turn into a full-blown disaster. It's like trying to juggle chainsaws while blindfolded. One slip, and you're done. Finally, those easy enemies are dead. Raster's probably thinking, why did I make this harder than it had to be? Time to get back in sync and maybe, just maybe, stop turning every fight into a personal disaster. Raster viciously knees that lady off the ladder. She's off to an early grave. Hope her family has a solid life insurance plan, because this ain't pretty. But Raster's not stopping there, tearing through the rest of the women like he's got a vendetta against the entire cast. Here come some cartwheeling idiots thinking they're hot stuff. Spoiler alert, they're about to get their faces smashed into the ground. Raster's looking chill, just dishing out punishment like it's a Tuesday morning. Looks like Raster's finally getting things back in sync before he climbs that ladder. This challenge is all about timing, and right now, it's like walking a tightrope while juggling flaming chainsaws. Raster dishes out the pain, taking down those first unsuspecting enemies with double cyclone kicks, and for the grand finale, he swings the ball and chain at the last one, sending a clear message. I'm not here for any romantic commitments. Raster sends a clear message. Don't bring knives to an ass-whooping contest, you're just asking for a one-way ticket to the pavement. Oh, a knife connects. Looks like stitches might be in Raster's future. He's trying to keep things clean, but the blood's starting to flow like it's part of the plan. He finishes off the last bad guy with style, and gets everything back in sync, ready to climb that ladder like he's been doing this all day. And at this rate, it might take all day before Raster's ready to even think about climbing that ladder. Looks like Raster finally figured something out. Let's hope it's the key to surviving this madness. Up we go. This next part should be fairly straightforward. Just take out the enemies in front of him before moving forward. Simple, right? Well, for Raster, that's never guaranteed. Raster made it past that part, but looks like he messed up and activated the guys with pipes on the right, while the left stays quiet. Things are really out of sync now. Oh my, and Raster messes up, taking himself out just because he failed to keep tabs on both screens, and he jumps to his death again. Raster's making this a habit at this point. Classic multitasking disaster. And finally, some time to get back into sync. Let's see if Raster can hold it together this time. And it sounds like it's boss time. Hope Raster's ready to face the music. And he's making sure to stay in sync. And it looks like it's Burnov time. This would be a walk in the park with just 1 game running, but with 2? Raster's about to earn every inch of this victory. It's an agonizing fight. Every punch he throws seems to hit the air, while Burnov's fists land like a freight train. Pain's being taken and given, and at this point, Raster's just hoping for a miracle. Or maybe a time machine to rewind all the mistakes he's made. Burnov goes down on the left, but Raster hits the ground on the right. It's a chaotic back and forth, with Raster throwing punches and dodging like a maniac, while Burnov just keeps coming at him like a wrecking ball. At this point, it's less of a fight, and more of a survival test. Looks like Raster's finally got something going on. Both games are in sync, and he's exactly where he wants to be. This might just be the calm before the storm, but for now, he's owning it. Can't believe he's having such trouble finishing off the remaining Burnov. At this point, Burnov's probably getting more breaks than Raster. It's like watching someone try to finish a sandwich only to realize they're allergic to bread, and somehow they're still eating it anyway. And finally, both level 1s are over. Time to get back in sync. Let's hope Raster's figured out how to juggle chaos without setting himself on fire. And here we go, making sure to be fully in sync. Let's hope Raster can keep it together this time. And can he make this simple drop kick? Yes. Now just finish off these ropers before they turn this into an even bigger mess. Well, that looked easy enough, like a walk in the park, if the park was filled with angry ropers and endless pit drops. And here comes another jump that would be easy, if Raster wasn't juggling 2 games at once. This is like trying to do a tightrope walk while riding a unicycle, blindfolded. Raster keeps things clean here. Looks like he's finally getting the swing of things. Now time to climb up while keeping everything in sync. This is either going to be a smooth victory, or a spectacular faceplant. A clean run on the left, but Raster gets hit with bullets on the right. He's got to keep it together, or this whole thing's gonna turn into a disaster faster than a speeding bullet. And Raster kicks those Lindas off into the abyss. Good riddance. But now, he's got to be extra careful with all those grenades. One wrong move, and he'll be joining the Lindas in the bottomless pit. And into the pit he goes. Looks like he took a wrong turn. Don't worry though, it's not game over yet. Just another pit stop on the road to chaos. Raster's holding it down on the right side of the pipe, like he's got a VIP seat to the pain show. He's dishing out damage to the enemies coming down like it's a one-man demolition crew. At this point, the enemies are probably looking at each other like, did we just walk into a death trap? Or is this Tuesday for Raster? And onward we go, keeping in perfect sync. Because apparently, Raster's mastered the art of juggling chaos like a circus clown with a death wish. Looks like Raster is going to make short work out of these ropers. He's moving through them like a hot knife through butter, if the butter was made of pure anger. These ropers never stood a chance. Raster's turning them into ragdolls faster than they can say, ouch. Raster takes a little damage there, but recovers faster than a caffeinated squirrel. Now it's time to get back in sync. Let's see if he can keep the momentum going, or if chaos is just waiting to punch him in the face. Looks like Raster is going to be doing the punching. And by the looks of it, he's throwing fists like they're going out of style. And it's double-double ninja time. This is hard enough with one game, but Raster's about to endure twice the pain and punishment in this bloodbath. It's like watching a car crash in slow motion. There's no way out, just non-stop chaos. The blood is flying, the punches are landing, and Raster's probably questioning all of his life choices right about now. Looks like Raster is making some progress, down to just 3 ninjas now. At this rate, he might just make it through without having to turn in his controller for a refund. And he's clear on the right game with just 1 ninja left on the left game. This should be easy enough for even Raster. Famous last words, right? And success! Mission 2 complete. Now on to Mission 3, keeping things in sync like it's a perfectly choreographed disaster waiting to happen. This helicopter is going to be tricky. Raster needs to stay away from that door when it opens, or he might end up taking an unexpected vacation to the ground. It's like trying to avoid a flying brick in a tornado. One wrong move, and it's not just the door that's going to slam. Raster's face might take the brunt of it. These right arms, or hammer hands as Raster likes to call them, are tricky enough in a single game. But in this double game, it's like trying to dodge a wrecking ball with one hand tied behind your back and the other holding a stick of dynamite. Every punch feels like it could knock his soul right out of his body, and at this point, Raster's probably wondering if he's training for a fight or auditioning for a role as a human punching bag. These Williams with the bars are dishing out the pain like they're auditioning for world's most brutal enemies, and they're definitely getting the role. Every swing feels like a personal vendetta against Raster's very existence. It's like being trapped in a nightmare where the only plot twist is that you're the one getting bashed into oblivion. These guys are handing out pain like they're running a punch-for-punch subscription service, and Raster's the unlucky subscriber. And finally, a Bobo time. But that's how you're supposed to do it. Out of the helicopter he goes. You know things are about to get ugly when this muscle-bound nightmare steps into the ring. Abobo's not just big. He's like if a bulldozer had a baby with a freight train and then decided to punch you in the face. But that knee to Abobo's face seals the deal on the right game. Now it's time to clean up on the left. Let's see if Raster can keep this momentum going, or if he's about to faceplant into another disaster. Raster's about to find out what happens when you don't skip leg day, arm day, or any other day in the gym. It's like trying to fight a boulder that learned how to throw punches. Looks like there's no choice but to tackle 2 missions at once. Raster's barely holding it together with 1 game, but double the games, double the trouble. It's like trying to juggle chainsaws while riding a unicycle. Except the chainsaws are on fire and the unicycle is broken. Raster is taking a beating. At this point, it's less of a fight and more of a public execution. He loses a life, but honestly, it's like he's been living on borrowed time this whole match. Come on, Raster, get it together. You're about to be a highlight reel for how not to play video games. And finally, both games are on Mission 4. Raster's got a brief window of opportunity to clean things up and get everything back in sync, like trying to mop up a flood with a single paper towel. This is his moment to pull it all together, or it's going to be another chaotic mess. It's like trying to juggle flaming swords while riding a roller coaster. Everything needs to be perfectly timed, or it's game over again. And Raster is getting absolutely wrecked by those Lindas. What should be a simple part is turning into a nightmare, all because he's got his attention split between 2 games. It's like trying to cook dinner while wrestling a bear. Things were fine until you realized the bear has a taste for your face. And now, finally, Raster can focus on just the left game and take care of those Lindas. You'd think that would make things easier, but this is Raster we're talking about. He's probably about to turn a simple task into a slapstick comedy routine. These Lindas don't know what's coming, but knowing Raster, he might end up knee-deep in their chaos just as he's about to finish them off. This is like a cleanup job, except the mess keeps punching you in the face. And here we go. Get back into sync time. It's like a high-stakes game of whack-a-mole, but the moles are punches and the hammer is a tired brain. And down we go, into the depths of despair, like taking an elevator ride straight to rock bottom. At this point, Raster's just hoping the elevator gets stuck so he can take a breather. These right arms are about to go full hammer time on Raster, except instead of dancing, they're just slamming him into oblivion. It's like a bad breakdancing battle where Raster's the only one who forgot the moves. And Raster isn't able to take out all the baddies in sync. Now out comes Arnold, ready to make Raster pay for every mistake he's made. It's like a nightmare with muscles, and Raster's about to learn why you should never skip leg day. Ouch. Pain. Ouch. Somehow, Raster manages to beat his way out of this mess, like a guy who's been punched in the face too many times but refuses to admit he's lost. At this point, he's just swinging blindly, hoping he hits something that's not his own dignity. And with the Arnolds down, it's time to get into perfect sync, because dealing with the drop claws is like trying to dodge a freight train while blindfolded. Let's hope Raster's got the reflexes of a ninja. Nope. Raster's about to fail his way through this, taking the absolute most damage possible.
Yep, so sad.
It's like he's trying to set a world record for pain tolerance, but unfortunately, that record is about to be smashed into pieces. Can Raster salvage this scene? Normally, he'd be hurricane kicking his way through the center, but being out of sync means he's about to try this the hard way. It's like watching someone try to solve a Rubik's Cube while being kicked in the face. This is either going to be a miracle or a full-on disaster. Oh, the humanity. Raster's wreckage could have its own documentary. And a full-on disaster it is. Game over. Raster's attempts were like watching a car crash in slow motion, except the car was on fire, and so were his chances. Better luck next time. Or not.